With the launch of the Singapore-Hong Kong travel bubble in 10 days, many will be hoping to quench their wanderlust. It's been a while since many of us have played the role of passenger. But as Gwyneth Teo finds out, some things in Singapore are the same and some aren't.
Now, the airport may look much the same as before, but that's because the changes made for the new normal are subtle. Now, I'll be walking you through what your next journey from Changi Airport may look like. These self-check-in booths are now contactless. You don't have to touch the screen in order to key in your details, just hover your finger over and let the infrared technology do its work.
Hi, good afternoon. Can I have your travel documents and passport, please? And meantime, I need your mask down for verification, please. Yeah. Thank you. Now, Mr. I'll proceed with the check-in now.
When you come to the airport, you have to bring travel documents that are required by the country you're traveling to. And these days, this could include a negative COVID-19 test result. Now, at the airport, acrylic screens like this also keep us safe by keeping staff and passengers separate. Clearing immigration is also largely a contactless process. Instead of a fingerprint, a facial and iris recognition scan now gets you through immigration without having to touch any surfaces. Cleaning has been stepped up throughout the airport with the help of autonomous robots that spray disinfectant. Common touch points like lift buttons and escalator handles are sanitized frequently. Technology is also on trial for contactless lift buttons.
Hi, good afternoon.
Ground staff must wear masks and shields, and while waiting to board, passengers must sit a safe distance apart. Things are also going to be slightly different on board, and I'm very lucky to have Miss Debbie Ong. She's a cabin crew from Singapore Airlines to explain things to me. Now, Debbie, could you tell me, how is safe distancing going to be done among passengers on board?
So passengers will be assigned seats with sufficient distancing among them. So they are also advised to stay in their sitting areas as far as possible.
So how about situations like queuing for the lavatory, especially just before landing when a lot of people typically like to use the toilet?
We will patrol the cabin often to ensure that there's sufficient distancing in the queue. So we'll give it about, say, maximum like 3 in a queue. Yeah, and if it's more than that, we will have to direct them to the other lavatories.
What happens if somebody falls ill on board and shows symptoms of COVID-19?
If passengers are having a fever or COVID-19 symptoms, so these passengers will be moved to the emergency quarantine area at the back of the aircraft in the economy class to segregate them from the other passengers.
So let's take a look at what's inside this new care kit. There's an extra face mask, some hand sanitizer for you to use on the flight, and a wet wipe for you to disinfect your own seat area. SIA adds that cabins are also cleaned more thoroughly and frequently.
We have coated high touch point areas, for example the overhead bins, with long-lasting antimicrobial solution. Every aircraft of the Singapore Airlines Group is equipped with the HEPA filter.
The protocol is the same whether leaving or coming back to Singapore. And if you're returning to Singapore and you're not under the air travel bubble, you'll have to get a COVID-19 swab test at the immigration hall and a briefing about any necessary stay-home notice required.